In this video, we're going to take a look at what we call scatter plots. So when we have data with two variables or pairs of numerical observations, they're called bivariate data. Bivariate just means two variables, okay? So we have two things that we're kind of comparing. So a scatter plot shows the relationship between bivariate data graphed as ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. So that's a very fancy way of saying we're going to look at points that are kind of scattered around. They might make a line-ish shape, and we're going to look at and see what the relationship is between them. So if we look at this television shows type idea, we have season 1 through season 6 and the viewers. So we can see, if we just look at the numbers here, it looks like the viewers have gone down in the years. So we started with 31.7 million viewers, and now after year 6, we only have 22.1 million viewers. Still, that sounds like a lot of viewers to me, but it's definitely gone down quite a bit, almost 10 million viewers there. It's gone down. So now if we look at the scatter plot, we can definitely see this trend. As the years have progressed forward, we're over here at season 6, the numbers are definitely dropping down. We're having less and less viewers. Now this is a little bit of a skewed data, not skewed, kind of bias, I guess, because when they use this little kind of break here, it almost looks like it's dropping more dramatically than it is. I mean, 10 million is still pretty dramatic. That's a huge drop to all of a sudden lose. But it looks like it's getting much closer to this bottom line than it is. It's really not very close to that bottom line, but it's a way of showing it's a lot of blank area. So it's an easier way of showing data when you do that. That's what that little squiggly means there. It's like kind of a break. They're jumping. Okay, so here's a silly little video that I like for scatter. So silly cats. So they just scatter about the room. Of course, that's not actually what our scatter plots are going to do, but they can look very line-like, or they can kind of just look like a big old cloud where there's not really a shape to them at all. It's just a big old cluster of points. So it just kind of depends on the relationship of the information given. So in many real-life situations, data does not happen in a line, like strictly in a nice straight line. That's not real life for the most part. So although we can still look at how the data is related using a scatter plot. So in the graphing area, we can see down here, so if we look at the graph before we even start, I can see this on the x-axis here, and hopefully you can see I made this one blue, so you can see that on my screen. I know on your sheets when you get these, they're black and white, but that's okay. Hopefully you can see it on my screen. So you can see that the time spent watching TV, well, that's on the x-axis, right? So that's our x coordinate, okay? And the time spent doing homework is over here. That's on our y-axis. So that's our y coordinate. So now we're going to compare the time we watch TV versus the time we spend doing homework. So now if I plot all these points, so that went really quick, but you can see it was a 1:13. So if I have 1 hour watching TV, 13 hours doing homework. If I spend 3 hours watching TV, it's 10 hours doing homework. If I go all the way over here and I spend 10 hours watching TV, then I only spend 2 hours doing my homework. So you can see that there's definitely a trend here. As the more TV I watch, the less homework gets done for these students. And I say but it's 6 different students that they were looking at here. So if we're doing a lot of homework, then there's probably not a lot of time to watch TV. If we're watching a lot of TV, there's not as much time to do our homework. And that's a very big lesson in time being a limited resource, right? We don't just have unlimited time. If I take all of my time doing one thing, I can't do another with it. So it's just one of those pieces. So, and that's the question we just answered. What does this graph show? So it just shows us that there's definitely a trend here as far as how we spend our time gets limited from one activity to another. So that was the introduction to a scatter plot. I hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next video.